about to say, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else as the Cadet grid make their way round onto circuit. 3 heat wins puts Charlie Wyatt aboard the number 23 on pole position with Catherine Potter alongside. Lizzie Mentier and Jared Fox-Whiteley in 3 and 4. Thomas Potter and Ethan Girling, your top 6. Isabella Stansmore-Wilson lines up on row 4 alongside Tom Holden, David Mack and Leon Barlow with Hudson Barker-Dick and Josh Cooke. 13th is Oliver Watson alongside Addison Smith, Alex Fraser and Jack Thompson with Finlay Stubbings and William Robinson in 18th. 19th is Lewis Goff, Sophie Pawsey alongside him with Sam Robson and Ethan Charles in 22nd. William George Howard and Cody Lamb are on row number 12. Row 13, Alex Lynn alongside Harris Alley and Holly Allen in the number 95 will roll into position in 27th place. Josh Cooke aboard the number 3 with the black with the yellow number on, alongside him the 33 of Oliver Watson. Addison Smith there in the 15. Great to see Addison on track as always after saw him have a difficult time at PFI over in the winter season. That cart had the wheels facing upwards and the steering wheel facing down. So always great to see Addison back out on track after that incident, and he will start alongside Oliver Watson.
Just a couple of shout outs while we're waiting for the flag. So we've got Gillian Mitchell said go Gracie, Angus Scrivener said well done Lennon, Claude BD said Mahusive good luck to my big bro Hudson for the final, good luck to his buddies Charlie, Ethan and Leon too, but mostly Huds. And Gerard Singleton says yay, Thomas Braid well done from the 5th row. And we're away for the Cadet final.
Start line marshal felt it necessary to put some sunglasses on, so the sun must still be out. Charlie Wyatt though heads off towards the national loop, and Lizzie Mentier from the 2nd row finds her way through and into 2nd place. Great start for the number 50 Catherine Potter. Moves from 2nd, goes backwards into 3rd. Fox-Whiteley holds into 4th place. All of our drivers making it through the first complex of corners with the exception of Holly Allen and Ethan Charles aboard the number 46 who go off at the chicanes.
I also saw Leon Barlow dropping down on the inside of hairpin 1, drop down that curve that we were talking about where those tyres have been sticking out, and was lucky just to make it through at all. So
we were running 3 wide at one point round that corner, weren't we?
Going slowly out of hairpin 4 as well, and has stopped on circuit.
Arm up in the air. From a distance, I think that could be Oliver Watson, but we'll check as everybody comes over the line and see whether the number 33 makes an appearance on the timing screen. But out at the front, it's still Charlie Wyatt from Lizzie Mentier and Catherine Potter. Jared Fox-Whiteley is 4th. Ethan Girling, Thomas Potter, David Mack there as Thomas Potter goes to the inside of Isabella Stansmore-Wilson. Isabella moves back to the inside and retakes the position.
Potter's just taken 2nd out of the... I've just looked out of the window and Potter has taken 2nd.
And it's Oliver Watson above the number 33 is going to come through and over the line, and he's very slowly, looks like that car. Luckily, I think maybe he's going to roll off and into the pit lane in just enough time that the leaders now who are coming through are not going to be impeded by that slow-moving cart, which is great news for everybody here with 8 laps remaining of this 10-lap final. Wyatt has pulled out a gap at the front of around half a second from Potter and Mentier. Potter back in front of Mentier. Mentier, though, will try and cut back right round the outside aboard that number 50 behind Jared Fox-Whiteley.
Potter's going to give the old, there we go, I knew it was coming as well, the old let's work together signal, the finger up in the air and pushing it forward, let's work together, nose to tail, and go chase down Charlie Wyatt.
Let's work together, the code word for please don't overtake me.
That's exactly how it is, isn't it? And we've got contact there as well between the 88 and the 8. The 88 of Isabella Stansmore-Wilson going into the back of Ethan Girling. But actually it's fired.
Oh, David Mack
fired
as well.
Girling through.
Girling
and
chops
now
across the bows.
Stansmore-Wilson.
Yeah,
so Stansmore-Wilson lost a place and it fired through Girling.
Girling there chops across the bows. Looks like we've got a piece of machinery in the middle of the track through this chicane section towards the end of the lap. Start line marshal's gone running. That's a chain guard.
Okay.
Chain guard retrieved, circuit clear, and racing resumes under full green flag conditions with
Somebody's
Charlie
gonna have
Wyatt
a
out
very
at
messy suit
the,
by
out
the end
at
of
the
this
start.
race. With the oil spitting up on that
Yeah.
race suit and back of the helmet. Be fun to clean later.
So, let's see if we can, don't
Look
know.
at Lizzie Mentier. Look at the body position she's taking coming out of that straight, pulling herself forward onto the steering wheel, hyper aggressive. Fastest laps for Tom Holden and Hudson Barker Dix, or personal best lap, should I say, with Leon Barlow and Isabella Stansmore Wilson dropping back slightly on that lap. But it's Potter and Mentier and Fox Whiteley still going at it, chasing down or trying to chase down Charlie Wyatt. Potter's now full second, exactly 1 second behind. These three really need to work together, otherwise that big trophy's going straight to
they
Charlie
need
Wyatt.
4 or 5 laps, don't they, of not overtaking. Try and get on the back for one final run on the final lap, and then let it battle itself out after that. I don't think Lizzie Mentier is going to want to...
That's it, she's working with Catherine Potter now, pushing her along.
Through. I don't think she wants to show her hand too soon, but the gap has opened up despite the three of them working together. Charlie Wyatt's added a 10th.
For those new to watching, what we mean by working together is that they're not, when you overtake and you go up the inside of somebody else and you force the other person outside, you're actually both slowing yourself down, even though you're making up a position. So what we're saying is they need to work nose to tail, push each other along, and they'll actually save time by doing that. And then towards the end of the race, that's when they can fight it out for the
Exactly, because it's not, even though that you'll look at these karts and think that they're not that aerodynamic, because we see Leon Barlow dive to the inside of Isabella Stansmore Wilson as Charlie Wyatt pumps in a personal best to open up the gap a little bit. The fact the gap's closed with Catherine Potter, but as I was saying, if they work together, you've effectively got one kart at the front punching the hole through the air rather than a kart on its own. So the two karts behind will ease up on the back, and as the three of them work together, there's less drag created, and they technically should go quicker if they don't try and overtake each other.
Well, we're focusing on this gaggle here that's headed by David Mack as well.
These lot are trying to overtake each other.
Absolutely, yeah, and this is why there's a gap of 4.8 seconds, because these have been going at it for...
Oh, of course. I mean, David
Mack
Mack's not almost a second a lap slower than the leaders, but because he's in the middle of this enthralling battle with Ethan Gerling and Tom Holden, Hudson Barker Dix, Thomas Potter in the middle as well there, Leon Barlow getting involved, Isabella Stansmore Wilson on the back of that in 11.
Tom Holden unorthodox.
They're all going to hold each other up. You see the gap now to the leader, almost 7 seconds, so these are a second a lap slower just by battling with each other for 5th place.
Yeah, we can see this goes from David Mack all the way down to 11th place over Isabella Stansmore Wilson, who's now on the back of this pack, but she was quite a bit higher up earlier in the race. It seems to have just been muscled out a little bit, but I'm sure she'll come back. We've got a back marker, I think.
Holly Allen
had the spin.
Spun early on, didn't
she?
Now,
is she going to hold up the Potter, Mentier, Fox
they're
Whiteley chain?
They're all going to go to the inside. Catherine Potter dives the first one.
Fox
Whiteley can't make his way through. He finally does into hairpin number 2 down the inside, but he's dropped a couple of kart lengths off those two in the quest for the podium. It's going to go two steps to one of these, to 2 of these 3.
I think that 0.7 of a second gap has just been doubled, or maybe even more.
They were reeling in Charlie Wyatt. It's around about 2/10 a lap, which would have been an enthralling final tour as the last lap board welcomes Charlie Wyatt over the line. Let's have a quick check now. That's added at least 1.5 seconds, hasn't it there?
Yeah.
Catherine Potter 2.1 now off the back. Jared Fox Whiteley with a lot of work to do to get on the final step of the podium, but it's going to be Catherine Potter who once again throws her arm up as Mentier dives to the inside. Contact between the two of them, but Mentier is through.
Mentier holds a hand up, almost an apology.
I think Mentier's got the speed though. I think 2 laps of
Catherine
Potter
Catherine
not
Potter.
happy at all there. I think she'll still end the day in the lead of the championship, but she'll find herself at the moment in third place unless she can make a move on the final corner. Your leader's out of the final bend though. It's Charlie Wyatt to take the checkered flag. He's got enough time to put his arms in the air over the line. And Charlie Wyatt wins the cadet final. Lizzie Mentier comes over the line to take second. Catherine Potter in third. Jared Fox-Whiteley in fourth. David Mack, Thomas Potter, Tom Holden, Ethan Girlings drops all the way down to 11th on the final lap behind Leon Barlow, Hudson Barker-Dix and Isabella Stansmore-Wilson. Addison Smith, Finlay Stubbins, Alex Fraser and Josh Cooke. The top 15 with Jack Thompson, Sam Robson, Sophie Pawsey, Lewis Goff and William Robinson. And crawling battle there for second place. There was frustration out on the track, but there's appreciation between second and third place of Lizzie Mentier and Catherine Potter. And since Lizzie Mentier took her maiden podium here at round 2, can't get her off the thing.
And there we go. Look at that for good sportsmanship between Charlie Wyatt and Lizzie Mentier there. Good fist pump between them.
Catherine Potter will come alongside as well. That's how racing should be. Race hard until the checkered flag and then leave everything you've got out there on the circuit. So 2 more races for you today here at the Teesside Autodrome.
So we've got senior Rotax, junior Rotax coming out next. The fastest karts that we'll see all day. How many seconds a lap quicker did you say there were than the senior pro karts, David? About
6 or 7 seconds.
6 seconds a lap quicker.
We give them an extra 2 laps to do their thing because they're that quick. So.
So we've got a good grid of the senior karts coming out. We've got 3 in the junior category. They will be on the back of the field for the final.
I expect that junior class to swell tomorrow with the... I think we could look to see Bailey Thompson and Alfie Lindsay join the party in the junior class tomorrow, so that grid will swell slightly.
We've had Sarah Holden has been on, and she says, well done, Tom. You did an awesome job. Love, Mum. Oh, so that's nice, isn't it? So Tom Holden getting some support from his mum.
Great racing there as well by all the cadets all the way down. There is Ethan Girling going over the Way Bridge.
And it was great to see Charlie Wyatt celebrating with gusto as he crossed the line. Smile for the camera and fist pumping in the air. He's no stranger to a podium, but it just shows that hunger, that desire and the thrill of winning is still very much there.
Fantastic for Charlie, and a great way for him